episode number 2 of the Cerbone theory. What are we?
Podcast number 2.
Number 2. Where we changed locations from my living room. We're in the new studio, the cottage at Giovanni's house. All right, so what are we gonna talk about today?
Well, we left off last time. I think we're just getting to the juicy details of the Skydive Ultra. I think.
Ooh, our first official ultra marathon. So what is ultra marathon actually like for people who don't know?
So an ultra marathon is anything over 26.2 miles, I believe, which is a marathon, which is an average marathon. Not to say that marathons are average, but I mean everything over 26.2 is considered an ultra.
Yeah, and what they start the first ultra marathons at 50K.
Yeah.
So that would be 32 miles. So that's about. What, just six more miles then? Yeah.
I can't do math today. 6 more miles, yeah.
6 more miles than a regular marathon.
Yeah. So it's not that much longer than a regular marathon.
It's not that much longer than if you could do a regular marathon, you could probably just.
Yeah. I mean, I would assume that every person that does a marathon could probably do an ultra.
Could probably do it, yeah. Yeah. Just walk, like even if you don't want to run, you could probably just walk the last 6 miles.
But that was the thing when we were in it. Well, that's when we were in our ultra, we discovered this thing that a lot of people were doing, especially with the bigger runs, was the walk and run, which we got to look into for sure. We got to
look into it. Maybe we can get an ultra marathon. We're amateurs. If we find someone more advanced in this who's been doing it for a while, maybe they can explain to us how we do this walk and run type thing. And I mean, I try to do some research online about it, but what is this? There's like different ratios you can do. You can do run for a minute, or run for 10 minutes, walk for a minute, or run 10 miles, walk a mile. I don't know.
You try to space it out because you want to give your legs a little bit of a break, because you're going to be out there for especially when you're doing the hundreds. You're out there for 24 hours, or sometimes if you're faster. I mean, some people get them done as quick as possible. Like in 18 hours is usually, like, if you're going fast and you're like a seasoned veteran or good at ultras, you're getting it done in about 18 hours. But mostly everybody gets them done in under 24.
Definitely something we need to look into.
Yeah, I remember. Well, anyway, we'll get back to.
We were probably the most inexperienced. Like, we probably did everything wrong.
Yeah, we didn't even know we had. All right, so they have to have these trackers on your legs. They give you to get your split pace and where you're at in each. If you've crossed these markers on the trail, and we had no idea. We put this tracker on. We assumed that every time we go around this big loop, we're gonna hear a beep at the start finish line. But we didn't realize that there's markers the whole way through the trail. So we're about, we just started our race. We did our skydive, got through with that. We'll talk about, our experiences personally with that later. But basically, we got through our skydive. We just went straight from the skydive, came down, got out of our jumpsuits, went over to the start finish, put on our trackers, and started off. And within the first 3 miles was our first marker, which we had no idea. Nobody had explained this to us or anything, or at least we didn't ask any questions. But we ran into another ultra marathon.
Her name was Tammy.
Tammy
Macy or something.
Tammy Macy, yeah. She was I want to say, I don't know, she's probably in her late 40s, early 50s.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, a lot older than us, but she was holding her own, and she had been doing. I think she was on her third lap, which is about probably around like mile 26, 27. So she was in it for a good amount of time already. And we're talking to her, and she seemed like a nice lady, and we're just trying to pick up some pointers, and we're coming along the first marker, and she steps over it and it beeps, and we didn't even realize that. She immediately turns around and tells us, "You got to step over the marker. You got to step over the marker." So we step over the marker, and it's just this little platform that has a sensor on it, and beeps every time.
Yeah, it beeps every time you step over it. But we had no idea, and I was like, "Did you hear yours beep? Because I didn't hear my beep. Does that mean we have to start over?"
We're freaking
Come
out.
on, man! Like, really? And then, I mean, eventually we came around. We did the lap around, and they told us, "Don't worry about it. Like, we're fine."
Yeah, I think they were more. I mean, like, sometimes I'm sure it doesn't work. or if you miss it, you're not gonna.
Or if you miss one, you'll get this next one. How many total of those were?
I want to say the whole 7.25 trail was, I want to say 4 or 5, spaced out the whole thing throughout the whole thing. I mean, they were pretty evenly spaced out. I want to say every like mile and a half. Yeah, it was one. But yeah, I mean, we were going through it. First lap was, it was just us kind of learning the ropes and how everything was going on. It was a really cool scenery. It was in the sugarcane field.
We started what, like around 11?
11ish, yeah.
Around, right before noon. Wasn't too hot, but the sun was no shade on the course, really, right?
No. It was sun was beating down. It was probably the hottest part of the day.
Yeah, and then I think the first part was just like, all right, so you start off on like a road almost, right? Yeah. It was the road, and then it went onto the gravel.
Yeah. Oh, it was the road leading up to the skydive.
Yeah, the road right around the aid station.
Yeah.
And then you went on to like a little hard gravel.
Yeah, as you were approaching the sugarcane fields.
Yeah. And then what was after that?
So you basically make your first left, and you're going down, and you're right up against the sugarcane fields at this time, and then you come up to the main road at the end of this long stretch, and you're like, the only thing that's dividing you is this canal and the road. And later on, I don't know if I hallucinated, but I saw something pretty frightening towards our last lap. But you coming down, you get to the stretch of the highway, and you turn left, and I want to say it's another 3 miles or 2.5 miles down, a straight stretch. And there's like little water stations there, or a water station there. And they had like an electrolyte drink and some water coolers, and you kind of filled up whatever you had on you, your bottles. I had a.
So that was halfway. Was that?
About the halfway.
So they had like a non-man. What do they call those? Non-man aid stations. When there's no one there. So that was halfway. Then they had like a man where there's people at the beginning, start finish.
Yeah, and they had tons of food there. The race director was cooking bacon all day long. He brought in 50 pounds of it and was just giving that out. But I mean, that's the glorious thing about it. As soon as you get to see the food, you get to pick whatever you want.
Whatever you're craving, yeah. That's kind of how we went off. Yeah.
But I was kind of thinking, like, you don't want to stuff yourself.
No.
Then you feel sluggish. And
I think after you had that pizza, you said you were feeling a little.
Yeah, that pizza did it for me. I was like, they had some little Caesars laid out, and I grabbed that, and I think I ate like 2 slices on top of each other and inhaled it.
You didn't eat. You didn't start. I don't think you ate anything for the first lap, did you?
No, we did. I don't think we touched anything until like.
We might have one of those. I had one of those goos.
For the first one?
Yeah.
I don't think I had.
Yeah, I don't think you had one. I think I had one of those like goo things. So it's like.
We had like a decent sized breakfast. We had it at the hotel and stuff like that. It was good.
Yeah, and so this was. It was a 7-mile, little more than a 7-mile loop, so we didn't really need like our hydration, like the Camelbacks or anything for this. So I had just like a handheld, water bottle type thing that you could refill, and it was perfect. Every 3.5 miles you fill it up if you need to. And then Giovanni, you had like
I had a belt. It was like a fanny pack kind of thing where it had like 2 water bottles on each side of your hip, and they were like 9-ounce water bottles, nothing crazy. I filled one up with like a salt tablet I threw in there, which that it kind of works as kind of ionizes your blood. It kind of makes it a little thicker. Because while you're running, you start losing, your blood starts to thin out a little bit.
Does that help with the cramps too, salt or something?
Yeah, it helps out with cramps. It helps you like not get fatigued easily. You want your blood at a certain thickness. Mm-hmm. If you get too thick, then your blood pressure's too high. But yeah.
So the first lap, pretty good. What did we do that in? Like a little bit less, like around an hour, a little more than an hour, I think. Remember correctly?
Yeah, hour and a half maybe. We have decent time.
Yeah, decent time. I think our family that was there left to go have breakfast or whatever. Because I don't remember seeing them the first lap around.
I think they went home. I think the laptop's like.
Oh, it's falling asleep. We're trying out the video. Giovanni's fixing it. We're going to try to make a YouTube channel so we can have both video on the YouTube, audio on our podcast. Maybe we'll make a Instagram page, put some clips on there, pictures from our ultra marathons, our upcoming challenges.
Sorry, this is taking so long.
Good. I think it's still going, right?
It should be.
Oh, you took like the screen sleeper off?
Yeah.
Okay. Computer was just falling asleep. All right, so where were we at? So the first lap.
Hour and a half.
First lap, hour and a half. I feel like it was a little less than that, though. I feel like we did it like an hour and like change.
Oh yeah, it's
I think the first lap was like an hour and change, 7, because we usually run like 6 miles an hour.
Yeah, no, that's
right?
pretty good pace. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say a little over an hour.
So first lap, good. Talk to some people, learn some things.
And you meet a lot of people out there. It's not like you're not like seeing people. I mean, for the most part, you're seeing people every couple miles. And
yeah,
stuff like that.
it's funny because you come across these people, because most of the people, they're running solo and they don't have a team with them. They're just kind of doing it themselves, right? And then when you're running by yourself for so long and like it's just you and like
It gets boring.
you and your mind, just talking to yourself almost.
Yeah.
You kind of just want to talk to someone else, which we noticed a lot of people were very like
Very talkative.
Yeah, very talkative, and just wanted to talk to someone else when like you're running alone on the trail for what, like 10 plus hours.
Yeah, it gets lonely out there, but you got to keep yourself busy somehow. Yeah. Hey, hold on.
Oh,
Uncle Leo's coming in.
yeah.
All right.
Welcome to the studio,
We're recording
Cleo.
right now.
Oh, okay. What does he want? Oh.
So
Yeah.
anyway, we were we're coming around our first lap and we did a pretty good time. Met some cool people. Basically, what we did was I think around coming on to mile 8 or 9, I filled up my water bottle, and we made it to the next aid station. And
Yeah, now we're on the second lap. Did anything happen? Was it the second or third when my knee started going?
we were at the end of the second, I think.
It was the end of the second.
So Nick starts getting this bad pain in his knee, and we talked about it the first podcast a little bit.
Yeah.
But basically, what was going on was your knee was like swelling up pretty bad.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it had to like almost like maybe almost double in size a little bit.
Yeah. It was disgusting.
So we're running, and we're getting by the end of the race. It looked pretty horrid. But anyway, we're getting through, and we're getting a little nervous, but we're not too worried about a little over 15 miles.
Yeah, and this is happening on
Second lap.
second lap out of, so 2 laps. The second lap out of how many laps? 7 laps.
7 laps total.
So we're not even halfway there yet, and my knee is killing me. Like I was doing okay for the end of the second, and I think it wasn't till maybe the middle of the third where I was walking for like a while.
We had to run and walk for a little bit, and that really cut down some time. But,
and I looked at Giovanni. I could tell Giovanni was getting a little worried. We weren't gonna meet the cutoff time.
Yeah, because you have 14 hours to do the whole thing, or else you get disqualified.
And I'm like, fuck, we've been training for like, how long were we training for? Like 4 or 5 months?
5 months at least.
5 months at least.
Had to be late September going into the next month. I mean,
yeah, I didn't want my knee to, Giovanni's doing fine. He so far he doesn't have any injuries or anything. I don't want something stupid like my knee to hold Giovanni back from 5 months of training to finish the marathon. So I'm like limping away, just trying to keep a good pace. I'm like, Giovanni, is this good? Is this fast enough? Because Giovanni's the one with the watch on. I'm trying to keep
the time a little bit, because I had an idea like we would keep it at least like a 6 minute, or what was it, 6 miles per hour. So I wanted to get at least close to the end of the whole lap, to where I knew, okay, we were in like a safe zone where if we keep it at this pace, we'll meet the time. But I figured if we were going to keep walking and running, I think our third lap took us over 2 hours.
Yeah, so our third lap was doubled of what we were of the first 2.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh shit! At this rate, it's gonna be it's just only gonna get worse. I'm like, because we're not halfway there. The pain's not even really like settling in for me, so I can't imagine how you're feeling.
Yeah. So at the end of the third lap, is that when I took the Motrin?
Basically, yeah, I think end of the third lap, beginning of the fourth, we made around. Time wasn't looking too steady. We showed up back at the aid station at the start-finish line, and then Dad and somebody rode over to like the nearest, like, I don't know, like
CVS or Walgreens or something like that.
Yeah, it'd be like 20 minutes away. So while we were galloping along through the trails, they went and got some Motrin, and Nick took a couple.
I the recommend.
He took double the dosage, I think.
I took 4.
Yeah.
Right before we started lap 4 of 7.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. Right. Yeah. Right before we started lap 4 of 7, I took 4 Motrin.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how many milligrams that was.
No,
I think it was 800 milligrams total.
That sounds like a lot, but it sounds like it.
So I did that, and then they got this like topical treatment that you put on top of your knee, and
Blue emu.
Yeah.
That's a lifesaver.
Yeah. So they rubbed that on my knee. Then we started again. It was hurting still for a while, but I think like after 20-30 minutes, I felt like I had a new leg.
I could see him starting to start keeping along now, even like speeding up, like past me a little bit. And I was like, at this rate, my knee's starting to hurt, but I'm not, I'm not like falling over, but it's like, I'm starting to feel the pain start to settle in. And so we're in a good pace now on our fourth and fifth lap. And then sixth lap comes along, and it's starting to get a little dark. It had to be like 8 or 9 o'clock by then. You have to, once it starts to get dark, you have to put on your headlamps, because
let's go back a little bit, because I took the 4 Motrin on right before lap 4, and then I was pretty good through lap 4 and lap 5, but at the end of lap 5 of 7, the pain started coming back again.
Wait, everything was probably wearing off. Yeah.
And then I was given another 4 Motrin. So now I'm 1,600 milligrams deep in Motrin. Okay, more Blue Emu.
Just lathered it on.
Boom. Another new leg. Another new leg going into what lap?
I think 6.
Yeah, going into lap
6.
6. Yeah. So we got 2 more laps left. Lap number 6 and lap number 7. No,
those are grueling.
So you were saying lap number 6 was when it started getting dark out?
Oh, it had to be 8 or 9 by then. So like sun was definitely going down, or sun was definitely down by then.
We're probably on hour number 9, number 10,
hour number 9 or 10. You have to put on your headlamps, because basically it's a trail. And in this whole trail, there's canals. And in the canals, there's probably gators and there's animals out there. And you have to see where you're walking.
Yeah, and the trail's not lit. There's no lights on the trail.
It's pitch dark.
Lights, pitch dark. You might get a little bit of light when you go up near the highway a little bit.
From the street.
Just not from the street lights, but from the car lights passing by.
Oh, yeah. Wow. So you're hoping a car goes by so you can get a little bit more sight in your path.
Yeah, but right when the sun started going down, when we came up across the aid station, right around lap number 6 before lap number 6 of 7, they were making sure everyone had their headlights. It was almost like a required thing, right?
Yeah, you had to have it.
I remember I had mine on, and someone came up to you, and one of the people that worked for the race was like, where's your headlamp or something?
Yeah, they made sure. They did the whole race. I mean, they put on a really good race there, and they made sure everybody was doing their, as safe as you can run 50 miles plus, But we made around, everything. I mean, by then I didn't want to take the Motrin yet, because I wanted to wait until everything was like really hurting for me before I started taking it, because I didn't want to take it too soon and then it start wearing off and then I have to take more. So we got back from lap 6 and we're getting on our last lap and we're exhausted. By then we're probably 8,000 calories we burned the whole day. 8,000, 9,000 calories.
Yeah.
We're hurting. We're in pain. We get to the last one. I slap on some more Blue Emu, and I take my 2 Motrins, and that last lap is good. I felt really good on that one. That was the
I
the
think
winner right there.
it started getting a little cooler out. I noticed. Yeah, it was a little cooler out.
Oh yeah, it dropped down.
Yeah,
to like
it dropped down
50s, I think.
high 50s, low 60s.
Yeah.
I think it wasn't bad when we were running, but right when we stopped, when like our bodies started cooling down, I actually started shivering.
Oh, that's
Yeah, especially at the end when we finished.
Yeah, no. As soon as you like stop that blood flow, like you don't realize how hot you are until like, you stop moving, and everything goes, oh god, oh, and you just start shivering again. But yeah, no. So basically, we got around, and we're on our last lap. And how were you feeling at that time?
Last lap, the motion was still in. I was feeling pretty good.
Good. Okay.
Yeah.
It hadn't hit me until midway.
Oh,
through.
I think the only thing that was like that I could really, I mean, other than the typical like just running pain, was the first time like I felt like a lot of pain in my feet.
Oh, like
my feet,
like your actual like
your
soles and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think that might have been from that. There was a section of the course that was sugar sand.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's basically you're running on the beach. It's this really fine, like what does it come from the sugar or something?
It probably comes from
when
the
they're burning.
Because
they were burning. They were burning the.
Oh, they casually burn the fields.
Yeah. They like harvest there or something.
Yeah. So while we were there, they were burning them that day, and I mean not around the course, but you could see the smoke from.
Yeah, we
distance.
saw the smoke when we were doing the skydive.
Oh, it was amazing!
Yeah, pretty cool.
The whole day, you're looking around and you see just people like casually skydiving around while you're running like your marathon or ultra.
Mm-hmm.
It was cool to see people just falling down and doing their skydive, having fun with it. But I mean, we got on our last lap and we're running through, and we every time we get to the sugar sand.
Sugar sand, yeah.
Every time we get there, that's when like your legs would really start to hurt, because like you're already sore, and on top of it, you're like your feet are digging into the ground.
Yeah,
and it takes a lot of energy just to pull yourself out.
It was probably the mileage plus that sand that really just like made my feet extremely sore.
I think so.
But anyway, we're on our last lap.
Oh,
final lap.
We're coming around. All I'm thinking about is the food. All I'm thinking about is the food and the water and just going to bed. And we're coming around the corner, and I think it was that. Oh wait,
Are you about to get to the finish line?
No.
Because I remember
there was the what was it? It was on the 6th lap. We almost fell into the canal. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Oh my! I was like maybe like 2 feet away from like falling in. I didn't see the sign, and then we got lost for a second.
Yeah, so they have these signs out,
little
and like the little glow sticks on the signs. So you got, not only are you trying to keep going, but you gotta, while you're extremely tired and worn out, you gotta look for these little tiny signs to follow like the trail.
Oh yeah,
and
they just have arrows on them.
Yeah. Plus that, something happened to your light, right? Did your light not just turn off? You were running.
Oh, I think you said my leg.
Oh no, your light.
So we're running, and like halfway through the last lap, my light turns off, and I charged it the whole night before, and I'm thinking like my headlamp turned off.
Yeah, and we have the exact same headlamp.
Yeah.
Both, I don't think I used mine until that day. I might have turned it on and played with it a little bit, but I never like used it.
Battery.
Yeah, but so when I see his goes off, I'm like, oh shit, mine's probably gonna go off soon too, because we both got it at the same time. We both barely used it.
Yeah.
Same type, same exact thing. So I'm like, oh shit. So we were using it sparingly, like only when we were by the highway, we turned it off.
Yeah. Every 5 seconds we were like, if we didn't like, well. It had like 2 settings on it. It had like a dim.
Yeah, it had.
And that red light. My red light would turn on sometimes, and then it would just turn off on it. And I'd be like, all right, I had to use yours for a little bit.
Yeah.
And so we would just basically point it down. You make sure you're just not stepping on any big rocks or tripping over anything, and lighten up the path as much as you could.
Yeah.
But, we were sharing this light on our last lap, and we get over, and we were able to see the signs and everything pretty clearly because we kind of remembered the layout of the course for the day.
Mm-hmm.
And at the beginning of the last lap, there's a lot of, especially in the larger races, but I don't know if I hallucinated or not. But I'm almost positive, which was a like panther like a Florida Panther or a Bobcat. Like it had. I'm like running, and I'm had to be like 5-6 feet in front of you, and like there's sugar canes on the side on the left of me, and there's the canal to the right, and then over the canal is a little hill.
Yeah.
And I'm looking over, and I just like kind of like my light is still working at this point, and I'm looking forward, and out of the corner of my eye on my right side, I see these two glowing eyes over the canal, and basically I kind of just quickly, you know, take a second glance over there, point my light over, and I just see this had to be at least 40 or 50-pound cat walk over the canal, like kind of like get frightened and then walk, like kind of just stroll over the canal going the other way. And I was like, did you see that? And you were like, what?
It's funny because I don't even remember you saying that to me. I was just probably so out of it. I think
we were exhausted. I
remember I was looking back on the Facebook page,
Yeah.
the Skydive page, and someone there was earlier before I think we started the race, like when people started in the morning.
Yeah.
There was like an alligator on the canal.
No.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh wow. So there's a Facebook page for this race.
Yeah.
It's what is
Skydive
it called?
Ultra.
Just Skydive Ultra. If you're interested next year.
Yeah.
But yeah, so basically we get through our last lap. You know, we kind of maneuver our way around, remembering how the layout was, and then we get to the end of the race, and that was the best experience. It was just the best feeling ever.
Yeah, and it's so low key too. Like compared to like marathons, like even starting, like there was no like, all right, everybody ready, 3, 2, 1, and then someone like shoots a gun or something like, and everyone goes.
You just kind of start on your own.
Kind of just start, because the thing with the ultra marathons is that like you have a lot of time, so like you can like catch up on that time. I don't know how to explain it, but like
like if you're trailing.
Yes, yeah. If you're trailing a little bit, you can catch up later.
Yeah.
It's not like when you're running like a 10K or like 5K where like
they usually do it in an hour, 2 hours.
You can't mess up. There's no room for error.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. There's more room for error.
Yeah.
Than when you're doing like ultra marathons.
Yeah. You have more time to make up, especially if you get tired at one point. And the big thing about ultras is the fact that you have those peaks and valleys. Like I said before, it's this fluctuation of emotion that you're gonna hit this high. And I don't even know when people say runner's high. Do you get a runner's high?
Sometimes.
I don't know what that is. Or if I get it, I don't recognize it, because I just feel like this fluctuation of emotion where it's like I feel good and I feel like crap. I feel good, I feel like crap.
Maybe not. I don't know. I think I felt it sometimes, like when I'm training.
Yeah.
Like when you like you tell yourself, okay, I only need to do like 6 miles today.
Yeah.
And then like you're at 6 miles 6, and you're like, oh, I'm feeling good. Let me just keep going.
Yeah.
And then you kind of just zone out. Yeah. And just keep going.
I think that's like, I don't know. I feel like if you set your mind on a certain mileage, your mind knows, okay, well, I know where the end is, so I'm gonna start to feel better because I know it's gonna end soon. But if especially if you do it like a 50, like we never knew before, or did before, we were just kind of working on guesswork the whole time, and our body had never been in that experience. And I said it to you when we passed 32 miles. I was like, "Hey, man!" I said, it looks like we're probably on our probably our 6th lap, and I was like, "Hey, just look," and you look like you were feeling okay, but we both were hurting.
Yeah. And
I was just trying to boost up the morale a little bit, and I was like, "Hey, just every step is a new personal record."
Yeah. Yeah. That was a good moment right there when we passed 32.
Yeah, that was fun, but we get to the end and. It was a good feeling. We immediately ran over to the time to get our medals and ask what time we got. And
I had to throw my jacket on. I started getting so cold.
Oh, immediately after.
I felt like my body was just from like your body's all heated up from running and stuff, and then when you stop moving, I was freezing in the car when we got in your dad's car. I turned the air conditioning off.
We immediately went from the race, say goodbye. There were still people there. They had some campfires out going, and people were just waiting for the 100 milers were still running.
Oh my! Wait, let's go back a little bit to when we're on like lap 6. lap 6 and 7 when it was like pitch dark out, and then like we see
You met that guy?
Yeah, we met that guy. You, when you're running, you see like little lights in the distance, and those are other runners, and most likely they're either the 50-mile runners or plus or 100K.
Yeah,
or
whoever's
100
doing the
milers.
long runs that day.
So yeah, you come up across these people and you just start talking to them and how you doing, and it's good just to like I'm sure they want like people to talk to them like when you're by yourself. Yeah, get your mind off things.
Who was that gentleman?
It was that guy. He said
he was a DJ that worked at the Key Lime House too. That was like his.
Oh, that was the guy before.
Okay,
because
who are we thinking of?
I'm thinking of the guy that was like he was gonna quit earlier in the morning.
Yeah,
He took his. Oh, that was the same guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically this guy we were talking to for a little bit, and he had like, I don't know, he had gone through some injury, and he had ran like 100 like 2 weeks before. And he just wasn't fully recovered, or he felt like he wasn't, and he was going to give up halfway through the day. And he had to get to the morning, the whole 24 hours, and or close to, until he finished his 100 miles. And he was talking to us, and he told us that he was gonna give up halfway through, but he decided that his crew members, whoever was there with him, friends or whoever, just told him to put didn't let him quit, told him to put the tracker back on, and he kept going.
Yeah.
He's like, he told us, I just got to make it till the morning.
Yeah. When I heard that, I was like, oh my God. Oh my God.
So we left, and I was thinking about that guy the whole time. I was like, the rest of the night, I was like, damn, like that's
like we think it sucks. Imagine how that guy feels.
It's determination. It really is.
That's
and that's
crazy.
the whole thing about it. It's like pushing to see how far you can go. How long can you last in the pain?
Yeah, you don't have to be the most like athletic person. Like
it's all about I think you don't have to worry about impressing anybody else. You have to worry about impress yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's the way to do it. And I feel like that's how most ultra marathon runners think.
All right, so we get to the finish line.
Yeah.
About time. What was the first? We got our medals, turned in our like bracelets, and we start talking to the race director a little bit. But we got the ultras. We thought it was pretty funny because they gave us some beer.
Yeah.
It was an ultra beer for
ultra
beers.
marathon.
And then did you take any bourbon?
No, he offered it. I just went over. I mean, at first it sounded good, but I was like, I'll drink the beer.
Yeah.
I need the carbs anyway.
Yeah. And then I felt hungry.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
yeah, we went to Wendy's right after.
Yeah.
Big Baconator.
I love my post run meal is usually like a hamburger, some French fries, and a chocolate milk.
Granny Run?
Well, yeah, I mean anything from like anything more than like a 50K, like if I'm doing a long run like that, that's usually like my post like
you get the cheese, you get the
meal,
bread, you
the
get
bacon.
the meat.
Like my favorite, like if I had a choice, it would be a Five Guys burger, like
the Five Guys. All right, so I think that like Five Guys burgers are the best, but like French fries, I'm going Checkers all the way.
Really?
I'm going Checkers.
I like I don't know, I like Five Guys fries too. But anyway, God, I'm getting hungry now. So we go to the Wendy's drive-thru. I think I didn't eat anything. I didn't eat. Maybe I had like a fry or two.
Oh, you didn't eat your burger?
No.
I thought you ate it.
No, I ate it the next morning. I couldn't eat. And later I found out that it was the Motrin that was messing up my stomach.
What, Uncle Celso tell you that?
Yeah, so Uncle Celso was telling me.
Okay.
It was Uncle Celso told me that was probably what it was, but I was also like looking up like what Motrin does. Like,
what it does.
It like messes up like the lining of your stomach or something like that.
And you didn't take a small amount.
No. No. I took a total of 8 Motrin things.
Yeah, tablets or they were tablets.
Pills.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah. I mean, we got through it. We powered through it. It was definitely an experience, and another experience that we'd like to have again.
Yeah.
I mean, I think what we got out of it, and I think it was a big difference from the first one, because it wasn't like we were just pushing through it. I mean, we were, but we were trying to maybe prove something to ourselves. I don't know. I don't know how to put it, but it was just like it was just another achievement. It was a trophy on our own head.
Yeah, well, we did the 50K unofficial, and then we wanted to do an official one as well as something more than a 50K, so 50 miler.
That'd be the next one up. Yeah. And we're thinking about this 100.
Well, let me go. Oh, I forgot to. That night when I couldn't eat, I threw up.
Oh yeah! Oh my god!
Let's talk. I say we talk a little bit more about like the post run before we get into like the next stuff.
Okay.
All right. So I couldn't eat at all. I mean, I was hungry, but like I couldn't. I guess I couldn't get anything down or anything like that. And I just started throwing up in at the hotel in the bathroom, and I'm throwing up black, like black stuff. It's like I thought maybe it was the goo because the last thing I had was the espresso goo.
Oh
thing.
yeah, I kind of like those.
Yeah, I thought it was that. Then I was like, no, it can't. Then I thought maybe it was like the sand coming up, breathing in the sand. I was like, no, the sand was. I don't think that much could, make me throw up that color.
Yeah.
And then I talked to Uncle Celso, and I looked some stuff up on the internet, and I guess it's the dry blood from the Motrin.
Oh, so God.
I was basically throwing up blood. Like it was like dried blood in your stomach lining.
What the fuck?
Yeah, so, and that night, I don't know about you, but I couldn't sleep.
Oh, really?
I could not, I feel like my body was still like all amped up from the run.
It took
my heart was still like beating real fast. Like my legs were sore. I don't think maybe I got like an hour, 30 minutes maybe of sleep.
It took me a while to fall asleep, but once I fell asleep, I didn't wake up until like 11 o'clock the next day. Oh yeah, I was out like a light.
Could not fall asleep.
I think we got home and I drove from Clewiston back to West Palm, which is about an hour and a half.
Dude, I had to suck on your legs just to be sitting in the car.
No, I was so uncomfortable. Yeah. I was just eating my Frosty, like, having a good time. I was just trying to just get over the pain. But it was just, we got back home and I kind of hobbled my way over to the couch and Dad and me started watching a movie, and I was like, "This is uncomfortable."
Did you even take a shower?
Oh no, I didn't even take a shower. I couldn't. I feel like I was just gonna like.
Dude, my feet were nasty when I took my shoes off. Did you have like blisters and stuff?
I said blisters, but it was more like the black. Like somehow the sugar sand and the sand was all on my feet.
All on your foot, yeah.
Oh my god.
Disgusting.
Yeah, it was nuts. Yeah, but I once I fell asleep, I was able to. I feel like. That's I was listening to Courtney DeWalter, which is a famous elite ultra marathon runner, and usually after she does like the 240 races, like she says she has a difficult time like falling asleep.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, I guess everybody works differently, and I guess I was able to fall asleep. Once I fell asleep, I was able to stay asleep. Yeah, but it was a good day for sure. Mm-hmm. And then you got home and. Would you hop in Mom's sauna for a little bit? What would you do that for?
Yeah, I don't know. I thought the sauna would like ease up the pain or I don't know.
Ease inflammation in the knee and stuff like that. Yeah.
I don't know if it worked that too well though.
But basically, I can't like stress this enough. People that do ultra runs, like I was never a stretcher. Like I never stretched. I did weightlifting and stuff like that. And even when I ran, like before this, I would never stretch, and it makes the world a difference. It really does. Yeah. It helps you out a ton because everything just gets tight from just running all day long, and it's just like you have to get everything loose again. Yeah, you're gonna come in with some serious problems. Yeah. But yeah, no, so we've definitely gotten a little bit more into yoga and some casual stretching here and there. Definitely get a roller. Yeah. It's those are good ideas for sure. But yeah, I mean, it was a good day for sure.
Good day.
What else?
And I think like a week later, no, it was earlier than that. Maybe 3 or 4 days after the race, I kind of wanted to do another one. I was getting that itching.
Well, you did. Well, tell everybody what you did. Jeez.
Oh,
because you did do a race.
So, what day was it?
Had to be like 2 weeks later. Right?
I think no, it wasn't 2 weeks later.
Oh,
let me go on the ultra running app.
So Nick was itching for another race.
I think it was because of my knee. I was so pissed. I was so pissed that my knee like made me like, because we could have probably came in better. I don't want to say what we could have or could not have done,
sure.
But my knee, I was just so mad that my knee like messed me up.
Definitely slowed us down, but we still didn't get like fourth and fifth place for the first Ultra.
That's what made me feel that like I could have done better. Like it was just like I couldn't stop thinking about my knee messing up the run a little bit, and I think that's why I wanted to do another run.
To kind of just get it out of the way and kind of. And it was probably good training for just to keep you in shape and stuff. I mean,
I think it was a month later.
A month? Okay.
I think I'm just...
Roughly 4 weeks.
Oh my God. Because what? The Skydive one was when? 26th? January 26th?
Yeah. Tell them where you did it.
Oh, in the canyon. What was the canyon called? Right
Providence?
In Georgia. Providence Canyon.
Providence Canyon?
Yes.
Yeah.
They did really cool. First trail run I've done.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, on a trail where like you're going through like not like a street. Well, I guess like the Skydive was a trail too.
For the majority.
But like the incline and decline and
but
stuff.
It was legit. Like you were out and like there was no like path. It was dirt the whole time.
Yeah. So I can get a little bit into that. Where do I start? So I signed up. It was at the end of February? January, February. Had to have been at the end of February. Yeah. It almost seems like it was exactly a month later.
Before all this Corona stuff happened.
Yeah. So I think I signed up for the race maybe like 2 or 3 weeks after the Skydive Ultra.
You signed up and then did it within a week?
That's what I'm trying to figure out when the date was. Whatever. It was sometime in February, at the end of February.
Okay.
And the Skydive race was sometime at the end of January.
Oh, shoot.
So it was within a month.
Yeah.
I'm not sure exactly when I signed up for it, but
how was that?
I found out they were doing this race right near. I'm in Tallahassee at the time, and this place is like an hour and a half, 2 hours away from my apartment. I was like, this is perfect. It's a 50K. Shouldn't be too bad. The only thing that might be hard about this one was probably
the terrain. I think
the terrain and elevation, definitely. Oh, yeah. And I only ran like maybe maybe like 2 or 3 times between the Skydive Ultra and this 50K race.
You weren't even doing that crazy of a run, but your body was just, like probably still remembering.
Yeah. So the night before, so I'm working late. Let's see. I think I left work around 12 at night, 12 or 12:30 at night, and
this is crazy.
The race starts at, was it 8 or 7? I think it was 8 in the morning.
But you had to drive 2 hours out from Tallahassee to get there.
So I get back to my apartment. I fall asleep around like maybe like 1-ish. Yeah. And I get 3 hours. I don't know exactly how much, but I barely got any sleep. I got maybe like 3 hours of sleep. I had to get back up again at 4 to drive 2 hours to get there, and then get all signed up, get all ready for this.
Did you have to go to like a certain area and then like they give you a tracker?
I was the first person there, which was funny.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and it's dark out. You're driving through all these roads, so it's like a state park.
Yeah.
So you drive up to the gate, and I don't remember if I had to pay for parking or whatever. But I parked like behind this they showed you where to park. You parked behind this church. I was first person there. I saw them blowing up the start finish tent, and I think it's like high 40s, low 50s.
Oh my gosh!
Oh,
yeah.
It's cold.
Oh god,
it's cold.
I didn't think it was that cold.
And it's just me, so I didn't. I saw other people doing this, which I probably should have done. Was like you actually get, they call them drop boxes,
yeah.
And I thought it was just like something that like your crew, like your support people, will like hold on to you. But no, they actually get these big like tote boxes, and you put stuff in them, and you just lead them by the start finish line. That's what I thought.
So you don't have to. If you don't have a crew, you could just pull out whatever you need, and then you grab. And
I'm wearing shorts and a t-shirt because I'm like, am I really gonna want to like change when it gets hot out and stuff like that? I was just
suffer.
I'll just suffer for a little bit. I know when I start running, I'm gonna warm up.
Yeah, it'll be a big difference for sure.
So finally, we start. The race director was pretty cool. He was saying he started this race as like a training for a different race. Just because
for the larger races.
Yeah, just because I guess the terrain was a good match for it. It was good for.
Well, that's what I was kind of doing with for the 50 miler. I was kind of on the training plan that we had. It we needed to do some hill runs.
Yeah.
And I would just set the treadmill. I mean, because we live in Florida and there's not too many hills. In Orlando, but I would just set the incline on the treadmill and just kind of go from there, and that's how I would train. But I mean, that had to be a good training area.
Yeah, no, it was really cool. Especially just the canyon. The canyon was really cool to train. Yeah, it was fun. So I think that one was 5 laps of 6 miles each, a little more than 6 miles each for each lap, but 5 times around. They had a couple aid stations, non-manned aid stations
throughout the
at the canyon. So this one started out.
Mind you, you're working on no sleep.
Oh yeah, I'm working on no. Well, and I thought, I mean, I could have probably asked off from work that night and stuff, but I thought when we do this 100-miler, I'm gonna need some training of being low on sleep and running the race. Yeah. So, finally start the race. I don't know if it was at 7 or 8. I think it was 8. I don't know. Doesn't matter. But we started the race. You do this little parade lap where people kind of, because the trail, it's like a one person trail, so it's very hard to pass people around. So they did a parade lap where people kind of people spread out a little bit, let people kind of spread out, get their pace going. And then you start going down this trail. I remember within the first maybe 2 or 3 miles, I fell a couple times.
Wait, just because I wasn't elevation?
Because you're running through these trail in between trees and stuff, and then there's leaves on the ground, and then there's roots going up and down, and you can't really see the roots with the leaves covered by the leaves, and you really got it. It really forces you to just keep your legs up, and you're almost running in high knees the whole time.
Really pay attention to where you're stepping. So
I felt good amount of times that first lap. I got as we went on, I got better, was more aware, but I still felt a couple times. Didn't really know how to, because I know for the skydive one we kind of just ran, and then maybe stopped a little bit at the aid stations. Yeah. But this one, you don't run up the hills. I was watching other people and no one was running up the hills.
You waste energy that way?
Waste energy. Okay. So I was okay, let me just kind of just walk up the hills, but fast. Yeah. And then once you get to the top, you can start running again. So that was new to me. Let's see. Another section. This one, it was kind of, I kept thinking I got lost. Because I felt like I was on a new part of the trail each time.
Really?
But I wasn't.
Different?
Yeah, because I was
just think because of the time of day, it went from nighttime to daytime while you're running? Or?
It was hard to keep because when you're running on the street, you'd be like, oh, I remember that building on the way here. Yeah. And you won't go, you're not oh, I remember that tree. Yeah. Everything looks this different. Where I don't know, it's just hard to tell. Yeah. I thought the first lap I did get lost. I didn't get lost, but I didn't know which way to go, and then I saw someone.
Was it kind of the same setup where they had the pickets with signs?
But I was never running in the dark during this one.
Oh, okay. So you could clearly see.
Yeah, I could clearly see anything. It's just I got a little confused about which way to go, but I figured it out.
That's the thing about these ultras. You have to pay attention.
Yeah.
You can't just run forward.
Yeah. Another thing about that course, other than the elevation, and then just falling over roots and stuff like that, was you run through a little maybe like half a foot of water.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and the first when it was cold in the morning, I was like, oh. I tried running around it. Just kind of ran where there wasn't too much water.
Yeah.
And that's probably for like half a mile when you're running in the water.
What?
Yeah. So I'm like, let me just like run around it, and it's like clay. It's like clay on the bottom and like water like over it.
Oh man, you're getting dirty.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh, it's so cold. I'm just gonna run around it. And then once it starts getting a little hotter out, like I kind of liked it. Like it was like fun. I didn't care. I just ran right through it.
Yeah.
And then
felt nice.
Yeah. And then that was just closer towards like the start end part. But yeah, I finished that one. And then
what'd you end up doing after the race?
Oh, well, I get in my car.
How were you feeling, first of all? I mean, knee was good.
Knee was good. I don't know what happened. I guess knee was fine. Maybe I favored my other leg more that time. Maybe that's why my other knee hurts now. But I gotta get that straightened out. Get in my car. Start driving back. I had to get some gas. Got some post-run munchies to snack on.
What was that?
I think I got like some chips and like Snickers bar. I love Snickers bars.
Snickers bars are good.
Those are the best.
Never had a payday.
Yeah. Anyway, but I get some snacks from the gas station. I think I got some chocolate milk too. Yeah.
Chocolate milk.
I love
That's
the chocolate milk.
Move.
And it's not until when I start driving back when the sleep just starts hitting me. Like I just get extremely tired.
Oh, while you're
I'm
driving?
Like I need to fall asleep. And then I think I got like maybe like an energy drink or something to like keep me awake.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just like all that, just like not getting enough sleep the night before. Like it just
hit you.
Yeah, just hit me out of nowhere when I was driving back.
Yeah. Would have been nice for your sister to be there.
Yeah, she was supposed to drive me there and drive me back, but things happen. No big deal.
Yeah, it's. I mean, at least you made it through. And your knee wasn't killing you. So hey, you made it through this one. You know that you could do it again, and you know you've done larger races.
Yeah.
And now we have to move on to the next challenge.
And what is that next challenge?
So we're gonna try to attempt the burpee world record for 12 hours. How many burpees you could do in 12 hours.
Yeah, so we're going to see how many burpees we can do in 12 hours. Yeah. The world record for chest to ground burpees is 5,234. So that's a little bit more than 7 every minute.
Okay. Doable.
We haven't really talked about this too much yet.
No.
So, yeah. To do that world record, like, or to get close, you gotta train for that kind of stuff. I feel like,
what, like actually do the burpees.
Actually, like,
yeah,
we gotta train.
Yeah.
Like, if we want to like get even like close, or like, we gotta be able to train for it.
Especially, I mean, I'd be happy if we beat it, but if we get close the first time,
yeah. I mean, are we gonna attempt to do 7 every minute or something?
Yeah, might as well. I mean, just try to keep on track. Or maybe 8. I don't know, 7 or 8. And what did you have? You had like almost 40 seconds of rest time after you did 7.
Yeah.
We'll have to do some math on this, but we'll keep you updated.
Because I want to stay consistent
the whole
with
time.
Consistent breaks and consistent the whole time. And I feel like it's going to be close to almost impossible with no training, little to no training.
To do that?
To get that amount of burpees.
Okay, so you think...
I mean, we can shoot for it, but I think we should, instead of doing like 7 per minute, maybe like 5 per minute.
Okay, all right.
And then maybe like or maybe in the beginning we can start doing more, and then in the middle, so like for like the first like 4 hours, maybe try to do a little bit more, and then for the middle 4 hours, maybe just do like 5 per minute.
You kind of let off a little bit.
Yeah, let off a little bit. And then maybe for the last 4 hours or something, try to get back up a little bit.
Okay, all right, and then hopefully
we'll figure something out.
Yeah, we'll have to see how our bodies react.
Because I was reading, I was looking at the Guinness World Record, and I looked at the guy, and like he's been training for this thing for like a while.
Oh, really?
A while. Yeah.
Well, I assume it was going to be like a long.
Much amount of time?
And
we're planning on it. doing this pretty soon.
Yeah.
At the end of the month.
Might have to push it back a little bit, but.
Well, the thing is,
or at least attempt it. Yeah.
Do you want to? Because I don't know if we can do both these long runs and the burpees. Like, we're just gonna like kill ourselves doing like stuff like this.
Probably have to lay off the runs a little.
So
bit.
we can either
long runs at least.
We can continue doing the runs, and eventually do like another 50K in soon.
Yeah.
And try to get close to the burpee world record, or we can completely focus on the burpees and go easy on the runs and try to get closer to the record.
I think if we're going to do that, then we might. If we're going to do the burpee thing, I think we should completely focus and
focus on the burpees.
Yeah, just do short runs just for cardio and stuff like that. Yeah.
So that maybe if we're really going to go all out on this burpee thing, then maybe we should push it back a little bit.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. I mean, I'll still do like we do like a 6 mile or something like that every once in a while, but I mean like nothing crazy. I'm not going to do 20 miles one day and like go and try to work out and something like that.
So then what's a good date? Because I feel like if we make a date, it's more likely going to happen.
We could try beginning of June. Somewhere in the beginning of June. Anyway, but yeah.
June. Like a Saturday in June?
Yeah,
in the middle of June?
It's fun. A Saturday would be a good day. Nobody's got nothing to do.
So maybe the 20th?
That's fine.
Or 13th?
We do the 20th. Gives us a little bit more time.
Okay. Yeah. June 20th. Mark it on your calendars. You're going to see me and Giovanni do burpees for 12 hours.
There you go.
We're going to see how many burpees we can do for 12 hours. So we're going to eliminate some of our long distance running. Giovanni's might go crazy still on his 20-mile runs. But I don't know. I think I'm going to go a little easy on the running for now until after the burpee challenge.
Okay.
And really try to focus on the burpees.
Sounds good. Yeah. All right. Well,
that'll be our next challenge. I don't know how long we've been talking for. I can't see the time on here. You want to wrap it up?
I think so. I think we kept it good. Yeah.
All right.
That's all for now.
See ya.